everyone. This is going to be a Pilates class using one of these big balls. So the one I've got is a 65 centimeter one. It doesn't really matter what size yours is. You can do it in pretty much any shape, any size ball. Some of the exercises will be a little bit harder, some easier, depending on the size of the ball, but you can do this whole class. So we're going to start off by lying on our backs, get straight into it. And you're going to bring the ball underneath the back of your calf muscles. So your legs are essentially in more or less the tabletop position, lying on top of the ball. And we're going to lie all the way down. Bring your arms out to either side. And just to start with a nice easy mobilization, just roll your legs gently to the left without letting them fall off the ball. So the ball will roll to facilitate that movement. Come back to the center and exhale, roll the other way. And then just do a couple more either way. Keeping your shoulder blades down, your palms flat, and just allowing the ball to help with that gentle rocking side to side movement of the pelvis. So just using this to loosen up, warm up. Good. And then come to rest back in the center. And then bring your arms down by your sides. Take a breath in, and on your exhale, bring your chin onto your chest, curl your head and shoulders up, reach your hands forward. Inhale to hold it, exhale to lower down. So just a nice basic ab breath. Exhale, curling up and reaching. Inhale to hold, exhale to lower back down. 5 more of those. Inhale, exhale to curl up. Flatten the tummy as you hold it there on your in-breath. Inhale to lower down. And exhale, curling up, pulling the belly button in, hold it for your in-breath. Exhale back down. 3 more. On your exhale, curl up and reach, chin to chest, looking forward. Inhale, slowly release back to the mat. 2 more. Exhale, curling up. Try to squeeze the pelvic floor in at the same time. Just becoming aware of what muscles we're working on mostly. Good. And very last one, back down. And then from here, roll the ball a little bit further away so it's more underneath your heels, sort of the lower parts of the legs. Get your balance with the feet resting on top of the ball so that it's not going to roll away from you. Arms straight down by your side. And we're going to start with a very slow bridge. So this time, instead of pressing into the floor, dig your heels into the ball and slowly roll your spine up into the air, starting with the pelvis, the lower part of your back, the middle back, and the upper back. So obviously there's a little bit of stability work happening here. Your feet resting on an unstable surface, so you're going to be using those hamstrings a lot more to hold yourself up. Also the legs are straight rather than bent like normal. Inhale here, and then exhale, slowly roll down. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's do one more just like that. Inhale, and then exhale, slowly rolling up for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale at the top, and exhale down. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now we're going to add a little bit onto that exercise. So inhale, this time exhale, simply lift your hips up into the air. Now dig your heels into the ball, bend your knees, and roll it all the way in towards you until your 2 feet are flat on the ball. See if you can lift your hips a little bit more so you're coming into a much higher bridge. Take a breath in. And then this is the hard part, slowly roll the ball away by straightening your knees. Keep your heels on the ball to control it and bring your hips all the way back down to the ground. So a really good hamstring exercise, this one. We're going to do 2 more of those. Inhale, exhale, just hinge at the hips to lift them. And then on your next breath, dig your heels in, roll the ball in towards you using the bending action of the knees. Get the 2 feet flat, balance there for a moment. And then slowly exhale, extending the legs away from you, keeping the control, and bring the hips all the way down. Last one. Inhale, exhale, pick the hips up, and then pull the ball in towards you. Feel that concentric contraction of the hamstrings. Take a breath here, and then this is the harder part, the eccentric phase, as that muscle lengthens as you straighten the legs, and then slowly bring the hips all the way back down onto the ground. Well done. From there, just gently roll the ball towards you, bend your knees in towards your chest. And then take it away. We're going to come into a hamstring stretch. So depending on how flexible your hamstrings are, will make a difference as to how far you take the ball away from you. But have your feet sort of maybe halfway up the ball. Reach your arms behind you. Inhale, lift your arms towards the ceiling, bring your chin onto your chest, exhale, reach for those feet and come into a roll up and hamstring stretch at the same time. So you might have wobbled a little bit there, that's okay. Find your stretch, even if it means your feet are down on the ground. So forward fold with the feet lifted. And then try and roll all the way back down, leaving your feet where they are. Inhale to start your movement, and exhale to slowly come all the way back down onto the ground. Okay, roll the ball in towards you. Next one we're going to do is with the ball in our two hands. And we're going to start with it straight up towards the ceiling. So when you're holding the ball, try and hold it if you're looking up at the 9 and 3 o'clock position. So you're sort of roughly halfway down the ball height-wise and roughly halfway around sort of width-wise. And then from here, we're going to take both your legs straight up into the air. All right. If your hamstrings are a little bit tight, or you feel that there's some strain in the lower back, bend the knees as much as you need to, and keep the thigh bones vertical. Okay, so inhale there. On your exhale, lower the ball behind you using the arms. When it taps the ground, come all the way back up. Now pass the ball to your feet. So grab hold of it where your hands were and the feet. Leave the arms where they were. Take the legs down and then bring them all the way back up. Notice you don't have to go all the way back down. Hand the ball back to your hands and slowly take it back. Inhale to come all the way up. Pass the ball to the feet again and then lower, leaving the arms where they are. And inhale, lift back up. Keep going. So alternating by passing the ball between the hands and the feet, leaving the other set of limbs in the air when you're not using them. Keeping that connection to your tummy muscles. Keep the lower belly pulling in, the lower back more or less flat on the ground. Very nice. Trying to do the lowering part on your exhale, the lifting on your inhale. Let's do one more in either direction. Good, back to the feet and lower. Inhale and come all the way back in and bring your legs down onto the ground. Very nice. Okay, from here we're going to roll around onto our tummy, but instead of lying flat on the ground, you're going to come towards the back of your mat. So I might end up just a little bit further off my mat here, maybe even off the camera, and have the ball in front of you. So you're kneeling facing the ball. And then from there, roll yourself up and over the ball until you're resting. Actually, let me come a little bit further forward. Until you're resting with the ball kind of under your tummy. So for the first part of this, try and get the ball between your rib cage and your pelvis. So your whole lower part of your spine is on the arc of the ball. And then just allow your head to drop down one side, allow your knees to bend. So your hands and feet are in contact with the ground. And you're just kind of draping yourself over, taking the shape of the ball. So this is where the size of your ball will make a difference. Some of you will be further away from the ground, some closer to the ground. Okay. And then from there, lift your head up and bring your upper body into more or less a neutral position. Spread the feet a little bit wider, so your toes are still on the ground and the hands are on the ground as well. So we're going to come into a variation of the Superman exercise, and the ball will be taking the weight of the middle of your body. So it's a bit easier in that respect, but there's a lot more balancing. All right, so lift your left leg up off the ground, reach your right arm forward and hold yourself there. So the ball is doing a lot of the work of supporting the weight of the middle of your body. You're working on that length, so you're reaching forward with the right hand, stretching back with the left leg, and finding your balance in the center. Take another breath, and then bring that hand and foot back down, and switch sides. Left arm and right leg. So find your balance. Try and keep that neutral spine, and think of the distance from your left fingertips all the way down to your right foot. One more breath here. And then gently place that hand and leg back down. We're going to do 2 more on either side. So take your time as you switch over to the opposite side. Keep your balance. Keep breathing. Try and keep the ball again under your tummy. So you're drawing your belly button in, but it'll still definitely be resting on the ball. Bring that hand and leg down. Switch again. Keep breathing. Your gaze, unless you're looking at your camera or your video, is looking down at the mat, just on the inside of the weight-bearing hand. Alright, place that hand and leg down. 1 more on either side. Holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming back to the mat and lifting and reaching on the other side. 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring that hand and leg down and gently lower over the top of the ball. Okay, so staying in this position for the second exercise. Keep the feet in the same distance apart, same position. And then bring your hands and interlace them behind the back of your head. Stay in that rounded shape over the top of the ball. So again, it's underneath your middle of your body, between your rib cage and your pelvis. And then we're simply doing a back extension. So from here, lift your upper body until it's in line with your pelvis, as if you were laying on your tummy with your upper body. So try and get it straight. Now hold it there and open the 2 arms out to either side like an airplane, making that T shape between your arms and your body. Keep squeezing your shoulder blades together just as you would do if you were doing this exercise prone on the floor. Bring your arms back in to your ears, bend the elbows, and lower your head all the way back down. We're going to do 3 more of those. Okay, so again, start with that lift. Find your balance there so the 2 feet are still in contact with the ground. Keep all those back extensors working. So keep the chin tucked, so from the crown of your head all the way down your spine to your sacrum is working to hold you there. Arms out to either side. Very good. 1 more breath. Bring the hands back in and lower yourself all the way down. 2 more. Inhale and lift. Find your balance. Feel that work all the way down the spine and then open the 2 arms out. So picture yourself lying flat on the ground, making that same shape. Keep breathing. Bring the arms back in, hands to ears, and lower back down over the ball. Take a couple of breaths. And then last repetition, lifting your upper body. Open the arms out to either side. Keep squeezing your shoulder blades together. Keep your chin tucked. And 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the hands back in and lower yourself all the way down. Very nice. From there, roll back off the ball. And we're going to bring it onto our right-hand side. So you're going to line the ball up right against your right leg. So your right hip is actually touching it. And then bring your left leg all the way out to the left-hand side, lining up the arch of that foot with your right knee. Now try and make complete contact with the ball. So drape yourself over it. The whole right side of your body is touching some part of the ball, and use your right hand to rest your head in. The left hand can either be holding onto the ball for balance or onto your waist. Now from here, lift that left leg up into the air and try and get it parallel to the floor. Keep it here. We're going to make 10 small circles. When you're ready, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now lower the foot down, tap it off the ground, and then lift it back up as high as it was before. Try and get it parallel to the floor. We're doing 5 of those. That's 1, 2, 3. Really try and lift that leg as high as you can. 4 and 5. Now here's the hard part. Try and kick that leg forward without rolling back off the ball. Inhale, take it back. It doesn't matter if it's a very small movement. That's okay. Keep your balance on the ball with the right side of your body and simply allow your leg to travel forward and travel back. We've got 2 more of those, so 4 in total. Exhale, bring it forward. Side kick exercise. Maybe finding that balance a little bit easier with each one that you practice. Last one. Bringing it forward, taking it back, and then lowering it down onto the ground and lift back up. Well done. Okay, switching your ball over to the other side. So again, letting your left hip rest against it, right leg all the way out to the side, and then drape the left side of your body over the ball. That takes a bit of getting used to. Find your balance, and then bring your right arm wherever you need it, onto the ball or onto your waist. Okay, so starting off by simply lifting that right leg, and then your 10 small circles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Lower the foot down, tap it off the ground, and lift it back up again. 1, we're doing 5 of those. And 2, so working purely on your glutes on the side of your hip. 3, good. 2 more. 4, and last one, 5. Now keep it up there and start to kick it forward. Get your balance. The first one's always the hardest, and take it back. We're doing 4 in total. side kick. So bring the leg forward without falling off the back of the ball and take it all the way back. That's two more. Allowing the leg to come forward. It doesn't matter how far you go. Try and just keep it up the same height. So don't let it get any closer to the ground. Last one. Forward and back and lower the leg down. Well done. And come on all the way back up. Very nice. Okay. From here, we're going to stand up and you're going to sit down on your ball. So come to one end of your mat. And from here, you're going to walk your feet forward until you roll yourself down so that the pelvis is kind of just off the arc of the ball and it's more or less supporting the shoulders and the head. So you want your head to be able to rest on the ball for this exercise. So your hips are off it. All right. So first of all, just get your balance here. Obviously, there's a lot of work in just holding your hips up there. So you're pressing through the 2 feet, lifting the pelvis, trying to keep it level with your knees and your shoulders. So making that sort of tabletop type shape. Now take your 2 arms up into the air and interlace your fingers. So the action we're going to practice is a rotation of our upper body. So if you start to turn to the right, allow the ball to roll left and come onto your right shoulder. So you're turning 90 degrees to your side. Then slowly come all the way back up to the center so the ball is resting under both your shoulders. Now try going the other way. So turn to the left, allow the ball to roll with you. It'll roll the other way and then come back to the center. And then keep going, trying to make that movement as smooth as possible. Obviously a lot of it is just trying to get your balance. So it doesn't matter if it doesn't look beautiful. You can feel where you're working. Very nice. Good. Keep the breathing going. It doesn't really matter what movement you do on the inhale or the exhale for this one. Let's try one more in either direction. Good. So the legs are working quite a lot and changing position. That's okay. Just keep pressing into the heels and gripping with the feet. From there, come all the way back up to the center. Now try and keep your arms like this as you walk yourself all the way back up into your sitting position. At a certain point, there'll be a little bit of a lift involved and you come back to your neutral. Well done. Okay, we're going to go back down onto our mats now. Lying on your back again. And take your ball. And we're going to place it between your shins and your hands. So the arms are going to be straight up in the, or let's start with the legs. The legs are going to be straight up in the air. You're going to place your ball on the front of your shins. So you're kind of pushing it against the shins. And then your hands are going to be on the other side of the ball. So the hands essentially on the top and the legs on the bottom, if you think of it that way. So even just holding the ball in this position is part of this exercise. Now I want you to exert a little bit of pressure with your hands against the ball, so you're pushing it harder into your legs. So it won't look like I'm doing anything from where you are, but you should feel the effect of that effort. Now keep your left hand and your right leg on the ball and lower the right hand and the left leg. Take them down on the exhale, bring them back up, place them back on your ball. Push it into the other shin and go down with the left arm and the right leg. Doesn't matter which one you start with, just keep alternating. So when you come back, don't just hold the ball there, actually try and press the ball against that shin as you lower one side and then switch over. So you don't really have to remember to engage the tummy muscles with this one. They'll be working no matter what, just doing the exercise, just holding you in that position. So try and keep your movements slow and smooth. Make sure you're not holding your breath. Generally it's an exhale to lower and an inhale to lift, but if you've forgotten that, it doesn't matter. Keep going. We've got another 4, 3, 2, and last one, 1. Very good. And then come back with the feet down onto the ground. Well done. Okay, so from there, take your ball and pop it between your 2 ankles. So we're going to have the legs, so the feet will be on either side. Again, this 3 and 9 o'clock position that you had your hands in earlier. And for now, you're just going to hold back to the knees to keep your legs in towards you. All right, so this exercise, we're going to bring the hands down by our sides. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, curl your head and shoulders up. Reach your hands forward and lift that ball up into the air. Inhale and lower down, pull the knees in. 3 more like that. Exhale, curl up, reach forward, stretch the legs out. Inhale and lower down. And 2. And 1. Good. Now we're going to take the feet a little bit closer to the ground. Breathe in. Exhale, curl up, reach the legs forward a little bit more. Inhale and lower back down. Do a few more repetitions, coming down a little bit lower each time, trying to find the angle that you find is your limit. So if you start to really dome in your tummy and your lower back starts to arch off the ground, that's where you stop. Good. And last one. Exhale, curl up and reach. Inhale and come back down. Now take the ball out for a second, let your legs rest on it, take a moment to breathe. We're going to return to that same action and progress that exercise, make it a little bit harder. So you're going to now curl up, you're going to make that same shape, but we're going to hold it there and we're going to do 10 pulses of our arms, as if you were doing the 100 exercise. We're just doing 10 at a time. All right. So let's get the ball back between the ankles, pull the legs in towards your chest. Okay, take a breath in. As you exhale, curl your head and shoulders up, reach that ball away. Now hold the legs there and pulse. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pull the knees in and lower down. We're going to do 3 more of those. Inhale, exhale, curl up and reach with the arms and the legs. And 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And pull the ball all the way back in. Remember, just keep breathing. Last 2. Curl up, extend the legs and pulse the arms. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And lower back down. And last one on your exhale. Curl up and reach. And 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And pull the ball in. Let it rest on the ground. Let your legs rest on it. Well done. Whew. Okay. So, last exercise with the ball between our ankles. We're going to take it straight up into the air, holding it again at the 9 and 3 o'clock position, arms out to either side, and we're doing a simple rotation. So take a breath, and on your exhale, roll to your right. Take the ball over to the right side, keep the left shoulder down, and inhale back to the center. Exhale the opposite way. Inhale, coming back to the center. So it takes a couple of repetitions just to find that point of no return where you might drop over, and then use all your power of your obliques to pull yourself back into the middle, trying to keep the chest open and the shoulder blades down. 2 more in either direction. And last one in either direction. And back up, and then drop the ball into your hands. Okay, from here we're going to go into our roll-ups. So we're going to start by straightening the legs and reaching the ball behind us. So you can just rest it on the ground, it's big enough, and hold it on either side. We're going to roll up with the ball in our hands to start with. On your inhale, lift the ball, bring your chin onto your chest, exhale, blow the air out, and come all the way up into your neutral spine. Now, I should have said, bring your feet a little bit wider, so that at this point, you can place the ball on the ground, bring your 2 hands on top of the ball, and just roll forward by reaching your fingertips. The ball will roll away and you'll come into a nice, easy stretch. Hold it there. And then return to neutral, so come all the way back up to that vertical position with the spine. Take hold of the ball in the 2 hands, lift it off the ground, and then round your spine, and very slowly roll yourself all the way down on your out breath, taking it back to finish. We're going to do 3 more of those. Inhale, ball up, chin to chest. Exhale, reach forward. As soon as you can place it on the ground, do that. Hands on the top and roll it forward. And then come back to neutral. Take hold of the ball, lift it from the ground, round your spine, and slowly roll all the way back down. 2 more. Inhale. Rolling all the way up on your exhale, finding your neutral spine before your forward fold. And then returning to neutral to get hold of the ball and bring it with you, rounding and rolling all the way back down. And last one, inhale. Exhale, blow the air out, coming up, and then roll forward. Inhale, back to neutral. Take hold of the ball, round your spine, and slowly roll all the way back down. Okay. Alright, so from there, we're going to go back into that seated position again. So, sitting on top of your ball. And we're going to roll ourselves forward, or walk yourself forward so that the ball rolls with you. And this time, have your hips in contact with the ball and the head dropping all the way back down the other side. So to start off with, just open the arms out to the side and assume the shape of the ball as much as you can. So if you need to walk your feet further forward or further back just to get your balance right in the middle, try and feel that the weight of your upper body is dropping down the top end of the ball. So you really are falling almost towards the ground. There's a good stretch in that for most of us. And then bring your hands behind your head and interlace your fingers. Allow your elbows to drop out to either side, still in that shape. So we're going to do a very basic abdominal exercise, but the difference is from this shape, we're going from a position of extension over the ball, and as you exhale and you lift, bringing your chin into your chest, you lift your upper body, you just need to come back in line with the rest of your body. So you're only trying to make that straight line, not go any higher. And then inhale to lower yourself all the way back down. So you're going from a lengthened position of the abdominals up to neutral, to the mid-range, and then all the way back down into that lengthened position. So it's working them in a different range from where we normally do. Good, inhale to lower down. That's 3, we're going to do 5 more. Exhale, make sure the chin comes onto the chest first, or onto the throat, and then inhale down. So you're not leading the exercise with your chin and straining your neck. Likewise, make sure the weight of your head is supported in the hands, so all of this effort is coming from the abdominals, from the tummy. I've lost count, so let's do 2 more. Very nice. Okay. So from here, we're going to walk, actually you can keep your hands behind your head, but you're going to walk yourself forward until the head now and your shoulders are at the top of the ball. So the ball feels like it's supporting the weight of the head. At this point, you should have your knees directly over your ankles, and if you allow your hips to bend, your hips will drop down towards the ground. That's the action I want you to do first. And then press into the heels and lift the pelvis up in line with your body. So essentially it's a hip extension exercise you're doing. It's really for glute maximus and hamstrings. So nice and simple, allow your bum to drop down towards the ground and then lift it up and really squeeze the bum in to maximize the contraction. The ball can roll a little bit as you're doing it, that's fine. Keep equal weight in the 2 feet. Make sure the feet are parallel. And after a few of them, you should feel it in the glutes. And again, make sure the head and the neck are well supported. Let's do 3 or 4 more. I didn't set a number for this one. And then make this the last one. And I'll come all the way down. This time I'll just sit down off the ball. Okay, so now that we're back on the ground, I'm going to bring my legs straight out in front of me and take the ball in my 2 hands. So you may not be able to see. Actually, let me go this way, see what I'm doing. So sitting up nice and tall, we're doing our simple rotation exercise from Pilates, but we're going to do it with feet slightly wider than normal, so maybe just as wide as your mat. And start with the ball straight out in front of you. Drop your shoulders down, tuck your chin towards your throat. Inhale. Exhale, twist to the left. So it's just like you're taking the ball with you. Inhale, come back to the middle. Nice and easy, keep going. Feeling like the twist is happening from your waist. So your rib cage is rotating. The ball is only coming with you because it's in your arms and your arms are attached to your rib cage. So all the effort is in the middle of your waist. Try and keep that length, keep lifting to the crown of your head, shoulder blades down. If you find yourself leaning back, lift with your chest. 1 more in either direction. And last one. Very good. Now come back to the center. Inhale, take that ball up over your head. Exhale, twist. Inhale, come back to the center, keep the shoulders down. Exhale, twist the other way. So now you get a much more accurate idea of how much rotation you really have, just using your own abdominals, your own obliques. Try and keep the ball directly above the crown of your head, keep your chin tucked, keep lifting with the front of your chest. So ultimately, what we're mainly working on is that posture in this position. If you need to bend your knees a little bit for that to be easier, then go for it. Well done. Exhaling on your rotation. Got one more in either direction. Blow the air out to wring it out the lungs. Inhale back to the center and fill them up again. And last one. And then come back to the middle. Place the ball down. And this time roll as far forward with the hands as you like, coming over the top. Okay, so from here we're going to come back into a kneeling position with the ball in front of us. So we're going to finish off with two of the sort of tougher exercises using the ball, but really, really good ones that I like. So I'm going to start way off the back of my mat, so maybe even off camera. So you're going to kneel with the ball in front of you, then roll yourself over the top of the ball, and you're going to start by walking as far forward as you're comfortable with. So every so often stop and feel what it feels like. So at this point, the ball's under, just below my hips, under my thighs, so it's kind of supporting the weight of the middle of my body. So if I were to do anything with my arms from here, it would be fairly easy. I'm not having to take a lot of weight. The further forward I walk, the less assistance the ball is. Now it's taking less of the weight and I'm taking more through my arms. Also, the further forward you walk, your lower back will tend to want to dip. That's where you have to work on keeping the belly button pulling in, keeping the tummy lifting, just like you would in a normal plank. So you're coming into a plank position essentially. So you decide how far forward you want to walk. Once you've got there, the exercise we're going to start with, of course just holding the plank is part of it, we're going to bend the knees in towards your chest, lift your hips and roll the ball towards you, and then slowly take it all the way back without dipping in the lower back. So stop just before you get to that rounding action. And again, exhale, pull the knees in, roll the ball towards you, lift the hips, and then slowly take the ball away by straightening the legs. I'm going to try for 3 or 4 more. You can do as many or as few as you like, or you can leave it out altogether. And you might walk all the way back and have a rest in between each repetition if you prefer. There's plenty of time to do that when you're practicing at home. And last one. And then from there, carefully walk your hands all the way back until you can rest off your ball once more. Well done. Okay, so I'm going to take a couple of breaths, breather, and then we're going to try another variation of that same exercise, this time with straight legs. So it's called the pike. I just need to have a quick rest before I do that one. But the same principle applies at the very start. So the further forward you walk, the further off the ball you come, the more challenging the exercise is. Alright, so I'm going to come back a little bit shorter than I was the previous one. This time, you're going to keep your knees straight and you're going to pull the ball in towards you by lifting your hips up. So it's as if you're going to go into a handstand, lifting up and then slowly straightening out. So you're essentially folding at your hips. And the action really is on pulling the legs in towards you by pressing into the hands and then slowly straightening back up. I'm going to try 3 more. Again, as many or as few as you like. So you can feel it's a lot of effort for the tummy muscles to get that ball in there. And then slowly roll all the way back. Okay. Oh. So, normally I end a ball class just by sitting on the ball and doing a couple of basic kind of balance exercises. But I think for today, I'm just going to get you back into this position, sitting on top of your ball. Let your hands rest on your knees and your thighs. Sit up nice and tall, close your eyes. And let's just, maybe I'm just speaking for myself, but bring our breathing back down to normal. And use the opportunity to take a few deep breaths into your nose and out. Thanks for practicing with me, everyone. Bye.